Okay, 3 golf balls. 3 golf balls. Would you say that and that is pretty much the same? So you see this little hole over here, right? If you actually design it, okay, or look at it, it's this here, and it's this here, and it's right over here. You see inside of here, what does it look like? The torus, if you actually design it, okay, and look at it, you're actually going to design this shape over here. Okay, it's the same thing as this here. It's the same thing as this here. It's the same thing as this bracket right here. It's the same thing as this bracket right here. It's the same thing as this bracket right here. So that's X, 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 and then you got this here. And then you got all the circles. Okay, now you got all the circles. They all become like this. See the V and the V? See this over here? It's a 1. Although it's tangled because there's 1 here between these two worlds, the connecting world of the same world, the below world, okay, and this one over here is 11. Why is it 11? Because this one, like the N letter, will now pick up the 1 spirit because in the center of this becomes the 9 ball, right? Wrong. I'm assuming it's the 5 ball, and I'm going to explain to you why and why not. I'm assuming that if you have 2 sets of numbers, okay, I'm assuming if you have 2 sets of numbers, a top and a bottom, and then you'd have the center over here, and then you'd have the center up here. Top and the bottom, this is the eye of the center. 6 balls. 6 balls will not make 2 of these, okay? 6 balls will actually only make these 3 balls over here, and then you'd put 3 balls over here if you want to make it that way. 3 here, and then 3 the other way. We're not going to do it that way. The middle balls, right, these middle balls will sit between a rack, okay? These 3 middle balls will sit between this rack. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. The 2 balls and the center ball will lock to the same lock rack. This is an automatic lock. We'll lock up automatically to the empty space here, the empty space here, and then the empty space over here. Here's your 3, here's your 3. This is your lock. 3, 3, 3. Okay, one dimensional. Now when you write exactly from this point over to this point on this angle, whatever you call this angle in science, and you make the circle around it, you end up more with an oval-like circle. As to where if you designed it as this, a 2 by 2 by 2, you get more of a circle than an oval sphere. And one of the reasons for that is over here. All I do is I take my triangle, okay, and I spread it right here. This one and this one become the same. Now they're both perfect, okay? The one thing I wanted to mention, that if we did want to do a triangle like this, one of the things we would have to do regardless of what we do, you never want to do a square, because if you do a square, everything stays on its own side. If you do a square, you don't want everything on its own side, so everything becomes on an angle. And I have to think exactly what I was talking about, so give me a second. It's 4:14 into this clock. You wanted everything to be on an angle. What was that for? Oh, yes, northeast, southeast, and southwest and northwest. For that reason, you get one travel, takes you from the south to the north, from the east to the west. If you go the opposite way, it gets you from the north to the south, from the west to the east. So each one gets to almost partake in exactly, and they will always meet at center court. So we see what this is, okay? There's 3 of them, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, right? See the X's? But really, take a good look. This circle and this circle looks like an 8. This circle and this circle looks like an 8. this circle and this circle looks like an 8. V, 1, 1, 1, one closed line to here, one closed line to here. Right over here. Now it can be like a strap. If this was a strap or turned into be a club, we might have a gear here that turns, okay, with a smaller strap and a gearing system, just like running the motor on a V8, okay? Wouldn't it be simple enough if the creator of this world that was so smart was able to make every single design look exactly what its value is inside the world of numbers and letters? We have north 80. So now what we're going to do next, and I'm going to try to do, is x equals 10 in Roman numerals. This is an 8. 810, JH, Jack Heaven. Don't forget, if you say G, G and J for me are sometimes intertwined to be the same, because the French say E for an I in sound and a G for a J, which is a G for a J inside of, and so that means also what I'm looking at is, listen to the color of these flags. Black, red, and yellow. Red and yellow go together. Blue world comes together, creating black. 3 stripes, okay? Then you go ahead and you say to yourself, light blue or white, blue, and white and blue, white and blue, white and blue. And then you think of Greece, and then you think of Israel, and then you think of Quebec. So you now connect Germany, Quebec, Greece, and Israel all together. Now, if you want to talk about the American flag, I'm sorry to change off the subject, but red, blue, yellow, and white. There was no purple on the flag, so therefore the blue and the red did not mix. There was no light blue on the flag, so the white and the blue did not mix. So, or each one of these colors speaks for their own, because they're all on their own, and somehow they'll mix just to tell us a deeper story to what we haven't thought of yet. So we're back to this 3 and 3, okay? The zodiac, I don't know. I look at it and it says Zadie Man Angel. Zadie Man Angel, the light of the Zadie Man Angel, the grandfather angel in astrology. Planet Stein, take away the name, don't forget the name. Inside the word in 2 worlds, if I connect this to this, then I can go one time into the other world. This will also use to create the M. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the E, and I'm going to talk about the A. Since these are 1 and 5, they count for 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4 is 9 is the letter I. These letters now, okay, are interchangeable. The M shows both worlds, okay? M and M shows 2 worlds upside down from each other. And the reason for that is I'm going to show you. You see this? This is a fictitious actual piece, because the M, if it was all on one level, it only would go from one side to the other side. So the legs of the M are a dash here, and a dash here, and a V here, and a dash here, and a dash here. Otherwise, you end up with the Roman numeral 1V1 instead of the Roman numeral 1X1, because it's a 5 and 5 world, okay, of 9/11. Before one corner and after the corner. For some reason, we never sit on 0. It's a little hard to sit on 0 when 0 is actually the center of time. It turns time all around because it turns what everything is. 0, 5. Yes, the other thing for that, since these are in the center, this is actually 5, 5, 5. Where's 9? 9's over here. It's got an eye on you. That would be the only simple sense that it would make to me. But at the same time, as I was explaining before, if I had 3 here and 3 here, there would be more than one of these. There would be nothing here. This one would be an open one, just as this is the open one. You see this over here? Doesn't it look like a stand? It's the stand for the club. Another stand for the club. Another stand for the club. Again, when I talk about the M or the N and the exchange and the N letter, is that this can also say NESS. How about NEST? Because in the word 8, okay, they do not add on when it's eighth. They only add on one H. So I'm assuming that there's a chance we can exchange this for the nest. And also the nest may be of Uncle Sam. Nest A, okay, A, change it for the E. N, change it for the M, and S, leave the S. Uncle Sam. Now, it could be all up in the air and fictitious, okay? E and A, okay? Why? Because the 4, okay? I mean, the 5 is right here. That's E. The 1 is right here. Roman numerals show you. 1, 5, okay? 1, 5, but it can also be used as the I-9. So I can use it as both, okay? 1 or 9, and 1 and 9 is 10, and they work together. Where am I going to go now? Back to the M letter. Like I said, now we have all 4 worlds. If I should make tic-tac-toe right now, okay, I would have 2 by 2. I'll show you the rest of it. I'll show you the rest of it. That's exactly what it would look like. X is stuck in the middle with you. So now we spoke about this, we spoke about this, we spoke about the 88, we spoke about 10, 10, 10, but don't forget, 10, 10, 10, okay, is 30, 40, 50, 60. This is a total of 60 in bowling. This says time. This is how time would run. But let me explain to you, if I put this on the other side here, it automatically, okay, becomes double and it becomes oval instead of just a round fixtatious of whatever this is. We did 3, 3, 3. Now, if I took this and I switched it this way, now we'd have 1, 2, 3 fitting this way. It seems like there's one nest that is this way, and then there is one nest that is this way, and somehow one nest sits right in between. And when the nest fits in between, I'm not sure. I'm not sure of how the arms are set up. Is it 3 o'clock or is it between 6 and 9 o'clock? 180, 180. And when you see it again, it recreates its X. Looks like the strings of a baseball, doesn't it? Where the baseball strings go around. Eggnog. Eggnog. 15 and 14 is 29 and 7 is 36. Eggnog is 36. 108. 108, 115, 121, and 5, 126. The dog. Wow, it's the same thing. GON 765 is 18. 765 in letter count is 18. 30, 210 equals the adding up of 1 to 20. There's your dartboard. So if you can depict your dartboard, these add up to it. 7 by 6, 42 by 5. 42, which is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. 42 plus 13 is 55. 5 times 5, 5 plus 5 is 25, and 10 is 35, which is the Y letter and the J letter, J, like they say in French. 55 is the passage. It's the electric company. 25 and 10 is 35. 3 times 5, 3 plus 5 equals to 8, and 15 is 23. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals 5 and 6. So you went all the way around to say the same numbers. You understand what I said? 23, okay. 11 over here. 5 and 6 is 11. 11 and 11. 7 and 6 is 13. 6 and 5 is 11. 11, 13. Let me do this for you. 366 days a year times 3 equals to 1,098. Plus 366 is 15 equals to 1113. 5, 6, 7 equals to that number. EC is 5 and 3, electric company, which is right now. May, March and May, the ends come marching in by in. Hurrah, hurrah, the ends come marching in by in, hurrah. See that? Where did the men come from? LMNOP, menopause. Where did the men come from? Because of the menopause. If you actually take a look at Rubik's Cube and you talk about, if you go to Rubik's Cube and you take Rubik's Cube and you look at it, you go, hello Rubik's Cube, I have 9 cubes on the top. We're 3 cubes on the center. Actually, we can't even count that. We'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. For the longest time, I'm going to tell you the truth. For the longest time for me, the center of Rubik's Cube was number 14. I may have to switch that. I have to find a reason why, because I'm not adding up to 14 right now. They're all little, look. I folded some paper. I took this paper and I folded it, and pending what kind of shape I did in something simple, I always got something multiple and beautiful out of it. Okay, let me get rid of this. So, have I gone anywhere yet? If this X is over here, okay, and there's a world over here, and there's a world over here, because now that this is multiplied on 3 levels, or maybe the first plane, Orville right, how do we know there's no more of these? Well, there are. There are multitudes of them. I don't know how many there are, but there's a bunch of them. I wish I had a computer and I had a guy who can actually make me a ball of this, although I've already seen that ball. At the same time, when you look at this, it's the pyramid. At the same time, the Canadian sailboat is a 10-cent piece. They also use it for what looks like to be a mackerel or a barracuda. So they have above and below the water for the 10-cent piece. For the nickel in Canada, okay, they have the beaver and the rabbit. Ask me why, I don't know, but there must be something. Okay. So electric company is number 53. Not only that is 53, but M is a very special letter because it counts in 2 worlds. It counts for the 5, okay, and the 13 in pull. Not because I want it to, because it just is. The 13th ball is the orange ball, and the 5th ball is the orange ball. So it actually says the 5th ball is E, the 13th ball is M. It says me. Okay, the 5 ball is E, the 13 ball is A and C. ACM, Mac, me. It also, the total of M and E, which is 13 and 5, is 18, it's R. It's almost like saying me Big Mac, me Mars. Mars is Big Mac. Anyways, the M letter is 39 plus 4, 43. And Earth and Mars, it's all about M and the Federation. And the middle is 1, V1, 4, 5, and 6 are Federation. At the same time, it's saying the letter M, yeah, that's it. 4, 5, and 6 is 15, so it's now counting for 15 and 13, which is 28. Time, heaven, connected worlds, the butterfly wings of 2 sides. You flap a wing here, 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 and man turns around all of his life and goes back and forth. I'm going to think for the future, for when it becomes the present, I shall make the action, for it shall become the past. Whatever has happened cannot be changed, but can be discussed for whatever reason that will be used as some forward future that we should act on what we have learned from our past experience. So whatever we decide to do at the present moment for the future, should we forget, then you cannot say to anybody, how come you didn't do it if they didn't remember? They weren't sure what they had to do, or if there was anything to do at all. What I think right now, I'm going to say tomorrow at 8 o'clock, I'm getting up, I'm going to the store. Tomorrow comes, I get up at 9 o'clock, I don't go to the store. Okay? I've made the decision, but I either forgot about it or I decided to change my mind. But I said I was doing it now, so that makes me a liar. So you can never say, you always have to understand something can be forgotten and people change their minds, okay? And sometimes it doesn't have to be questioned. Unless you always say, hey, I'm going to be there at 8, and for 25 days in a row you're never there at 8. Well, you don't have to believe them anymore, and then the other person should understand. What am I going to say? So what you have decided to do for tomorrow is not actually what you're going to do tomorrow. And once it becomes the past, it can never be changed, but it can be learned from. Once you stop thinking of any moment, that moment is forgotten until the time needed. Once you have stopped thinking, okay, tomorrow comes and all of a sudden you did what you said yesterday, that's great. When it goes into how it happened and it goes to the past, it's already gone. It's a gone situation. It only can be bettered, but it can never be altered. The only thing that can be altered is your own imagination and how you like to tell the story. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. You like the sign up here? It says peace. Peace and love. Ciao.